What is up, guys, and welcome back to the Swamp Boys Garage channel. By the time you see this video, I'll be on vacation. I'm going backpacking on the Appalachian Trail. If you don't know the trail, it's a trail that runs from Georgia all the way up to Maine. I think it's like 2,200 miles or so, goes through 11 or so states. So that's something I really enjoy doing, just getting away, backpacking, hanging out on a trail, camping, climbing the mountains. I try to go about once a year and put about 100 miles in. Now for this episode, we're shooting during the week instead of the weekend because I'll be gone on vacation on the weekend. So we're trying to get it done during the week, put out some good content because we need to get my little car ready for the road trip, change the oil, check the tire pressures and all that kind of stuff. Two, we're going to talk about what we found wrong with the Vette, why the engine kept shutting off after 2 seconds of driving. And then third, we're going to attempt to take another road trip in it. I haven't test drove it yet after fixing it, but it's all ready to go. And as soon as Tyler gets home, we're going to do it. All right, I'm going to go get the Hyundai real fast, get it all set up, jack it up, get it ready. And that way when Tyler gets off the school bus, home from school, he can jump right on it and get the oil changed. Alright, I got the car all set up for him and he'll be home from school in a little bit. The car is so low, you can't drive it up on ramps because the front bumper hits. And I used to just jack it up and put some 2x4 blocks under it, but I found since I bought these dollies, these are a lot safer, I think, so I put that under there. Got everything ready for him, wrench laid out, so he should be able to knock this out quick. And one tip, Wix oil filter. That's the best bang for your buck. If you're ever looking for a good oil filter, I would highly recommend that in my unprofessional opinion. So, big $1 million question, what was wrong with the car? If you didn't see last episode, every time we went to drive the car, it would die after 2 seconds. It idled great, but thanks to all the comments, we was able to figure it out pretty easily. Some of y'all gave us some great troubleshooting tips, and a few of you were dead on exact. It was definitely the VAT system, the vehicle anti-theft system. And the Corvette was one of the most stolen cars in the 70s and 80s, so GM put this anti-theft system on it to deter theft. And a lot of you, the comments were saying, well, you drove it out perfectly the other day. It had to be something from whenever you were heating the frame up. Maybe it was a ground wire or something. And we checked all the grounds, double checked everything like that, because I mean that's a very good possibility. And but after we started researching about the VAT system, come to find out it was our battery is so bad and dead that once we brought it outside, remember we parked it out here. So we put it out there, and then the battery wasn't on the charger for a while, and it just went dead, and we tried to crank it, and the computer thought it was being stolen, so it put it into the, I don't know what you call it, the anti-theft mode. And we got the message on the screen, and it would show up. It would show up right here saying remove the key for 10 seconds. But we did all that. You turn it off, move the key out, put it back in, but it just wouldn't work because the battery was so bad. So we got a ton of comments helping us out with the Vette problem, and we appreciate every single comment. And a lot of them was, hey, you drove it out of the garage fine, there was no issues there, and that's 100% true. And it made us think, well, what in the world did we do? And some of you say, oh, maybe when you were heating it up with the torch, you burn a ground wire off. So we went through all that, checked all those, and they were all fine. And then we got some other comments saying maybe it's the VAT system, and I had no clue what that was. I never even heard of it. So I went and did some research, and the VAT is Vehicle Anti-Theft System. And what I was reading is the Corvette was one of the most stolen cars in the 70s and 80s, so GM put this anti-theft system on the cars to deter theft. And I noticed whenever we would crank the car, we'd get a message saying remove key for 10 seconds. And so we did all that, but nothing helped. And I didn't realize that was part of anti-theft. I thought that was part of the DIC codes or something. So after some research, we figured out one of the causes that the reason it happened while I was sitting out in the driveway for 2 days is the battery drained down and it had low voltage. It had enough to crank the car, but the battery's terrible. We still need a new battery. So the car's computer thought it was being stolen since the voltage was low and was trying to crank it. And then once you remove the key, put it back in, but if you start it too quick, I think it pushed the delay even more, like maybe 10 seconds, then 10 minutes, then on and on. So it just kept compounding. So we got the car back in the garage, got the battery charged up good, and then today I cranked it up and I was able to drive it out and drive it back in. I haven't been on the road yet, just a driveway. I want to see if I can get over 2 miles an hour. And that's it. So we'll take it for a test drive in a little while after we get the oil changed and see if it runs good. Oh, we got one other comment I want to talk about before I forget. We had a lot of people saying the car sounds terrible. What's wrong with the engine? It's got some terrible sound coming. The engine's garbage. I wouldn't waste no more money on it. Well, the sound you was hearing was it was a squealing sound. It could either be a bad belt or a bad pulley. And the best way, I'll show you a trick that you can use to determine which one it is. Let me show you right quick. Alright, so what you want to do while the car's running, making the squealing sound, you want to get like a little bar soap. Motel soap works great for that. You take the soap and you put it on the rib side like this, let it rub while the car's running. And if the squeal goes away, you know it's the belt. And if it don't go away, then you know it's a pulley. Then you got to figure out which pulley it's coming from. But I changed this belt a long time ago, and when I went to the auto parts store, they didn't have C5 has 2 belts, one way down here which has the air conditioner and some other stuff, so they didn't have that one. So I said I'll change the bottom later. Well, later never came, so that's that, which is going to be a lot more work now to change it, because it would have been a lot easier with the rack and pinion out and different things. So I'll have to get that done soon, because that belt's not going to last.
Alright guys, I'm home from school. Let's knock out the oil change and let's go test drive the Vette. Hopefully it'll work this time.
Let's give it a shot. I put this shirt right here because the steel frame's bent, so it has the hood over here, and I don't want it to hit the paint. See how it overlaps a little bit? So hopefully that'll protect it. Alright, load up. You driving first?
Yes.
Alright, put the key in it and let's give it a try. I hear that squeak's coming back. Definitely need a new belt. So far, so good. running good, sounds good. Steering's a little tight. Probably still has some air down in the racket pinion. Just needs to come back out and that'll get better. Only thing we got is service traction system. Have to look into how do you do that. Punch it all the way. Got some power. A lot.
Yeah.
Alright, it's starting to rain pretty good now. Punch it. How's the brakes doing?
Brakes are really good.
Good. I was worried I didn't get all the air out the ABS system.
The only
Punch it
thing,
now.
The only really thing is the steering.
Stiff.
Yeah.
Easy. Alright, you ready for a good burnout? It should be pretty easy in the rain, so it ain't really a true test.
Okay.
So just don't send us to the ditch. Ready? Punch it. Good job for your first burnout. Alright, let's get it back home. Had our fun. Got a good successful test ride.
Okay.
Get in the garage and close the door before the cops come. No telling how many laws we done broke, and I'm sure somebody called the cops. So let's hurry up and get it hidden before they find us. Alright guys, that's it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed it. We back in the garage with the door shut before anybody could call the cops on us. So I know Tyler's happy as could be. He finally got to do a burnout, but that's not the real burnout. It's raining out there. We got a secret road that we know about that we're gonna go do a real burnout on one day. Maybe hit a few donuts. Just a quick update on the frame. Everybody's seen, well not everybody, but the majority of people think we should fix it. So the issue is, I have to find a frame shop to straighten all this, because whenever you hit that side, it's a domino effect that just, it pushes everything. So as you saw, the hood here is about that far this way. That means this frame bent over a little bit, which the frame's not bad, it just, everything needs to be straightened. So I have to get a frame shop to do that. So as soon as I get back from vacation, I'm gonna try to find a frame shop to straighten it best that they can. And I know the problem is that they don't want any legal liability of straightening the frame and something happen. So I may have to draft up some legal documents waiving all their liability. So I'm gonna go that route, then I'll fix the frame, and then we're gonna finish this car. We're not gonna let it beat us. So again, thank everybody for all the comments. We really appreciated all the help with the anti-theft system. It really helped us out. So thanks again, and we will see you next time.